my generous proposal. Are you in or are you out?
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Spider-Man movie villains.
Were you scared? I bet you were glad when your old pal Spider-Man showed up in the elevator, though.
For this list, we're looking at the most threatening, sympathetic, and intimidating antagonists in live-action and animated webhead films. If you haven't seen them all, watch out for spoilers ahead. Who's your favorite Spider-Man big bad? Let us know in the comments below. Number 10. Harry Osborn, aka New Goblin, Spider-Man 3.
Harry, you knew this was coming, Pete.
After Norman Osborn perishes in battle in 2002 Spider-Man, his son Harry believes Spider-Man landed the fatal blow. The situation gets worse when the surviving Osborn learns that his best friend Peter is the webhead. All this bad news motivates Harry to become the New Goblin.
I'm trying to convince you. You took him from me. He loved me.
He tried his best to dismantle Peter's life and crush Spider-Man. And since audiences knew how close Harry used to be with the hero, it was sad watching the Goblin lose his way. Unfortunately, the villain's attempts to turn over a new leaf ultimately led to his swift demise. Fans will always remember Harry as a complex and misguided character who embraced his heroic side a little too late.
None of that matters, Peter.
You're my friend. Best friend.
Number 9. The Mugger Who Ends Uncle Ben. Various Spider-Man movies.
He's got my money!
Thanks.
What the hell's the matter with you? You let him go!
In many Peter Parker origin stories, he fails to stop a thief from stealing money from an unpleasant person. Unfortunately, this mugger eventually goes on to take the life of Ben Parker. While the thief is just a small-time criminal, his effect on the Spider-Man mythos is gigantic. Uncle Ben's passing is often what pushed Peter to use his superpowers to defend the citizens of New York.
This could have gotten a lot worse. Now hold still.
And it doesn't matter if Spider-Man catches the mugger or never finds this thief again. At the end of the day, this low-level crook still plays an absolutely pivotal role in Peter Parker's life.
Don't hurt me. Just give me a chance. Just give me a chance! What about my uncle? Did you give him a chance? Did you?
Number 8. Flint Marko, aka Sandman, Spider-Man 3.
Not a bad person. Just had bad luck.
While Flint Marko was running away from the police, he ended up right in the middle of a Sandy particle accelerator experiment. This basically turned him into a mass of living sand. Flint could now reform his body, reshape himself at will, and give heroes like Spider-Man trouble.
I'm the sheriff around these parts.
Okay.
His unique powers were also beautifully rendered in unforgettable scenes. Underneath all his sand abilities, Flint was a man who was trying to acquire enough money to help his sick daughter. Thomas Hayden Church perfectly portrayed how torn and lost Sandman was in Spider-Man 3. Although we don't know if the villain was able to get the money he needed, we're confident he made for a fantastic antagonist.
I didn't want this. But I had no choice.
Number 7. Aaron Davis, aka The Prowler, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
It's out there. I'll find them.
You know me, sir. I don't ever quit.
Aaron Davis was a funny and caring man who often mentored his nephew. At the same time, he was an intimidating supervillain known as the Prowler that relentlessly pursued his targets. Aaron's worlds collided after his nephew Miles became Spider-Man. Watching the Prowler unknowingly hunt his own nephew made for a few sad and nail-biting moments. Thankfully, Aaron immediately decides not to hurt Miles after learning the truth.
Prowler, what are you waiting for? Finish it.
But the celebration turns out to be short-lived when the former supervillain is fatally wounded by his boss for hesitating. While we never saw Aaron destroy a city, he absolutely broke our hearts with his tragic story. We won't be forgetting how the Prowler's love for his nephew became his undoing anytime soon.
You're on your way. Just keep going.
Number 6. Quentin Beck, aka Mysterio, Spider-Man Far From Home.
See, that wasn't so hard.
Somebody get this stupid costume off me!
When longtime Spider-Man rogue Mysterio was finally brought to live action for the first time, audiences got a great performance from Jake Gyllenhaal. He was able to convincingly play a heroic figure that was secretly hiding truly sinister intentions. Although Mysterio didn't have real superpowers, he was able to masterfully use drones and illusions to disorient all his enemies.
You made your choice, and all you had to do was step aside.
And if left unchecked, he could have run around the MCU pretending to be a hero while putting an untold number of lives in danger. Mysterio's love for twisted schemes made him the perfect opponent for Tom Holland's earnest Spider-Man to overcome. Unfortunately for this version of the Webhead, Quentin's defeat couldn't stop this great villain from ruining Peter Parker's life.
Spider-Man's name is Peter Parker. What the?
Number 5. Wilson Fisk, aka Kingpin, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Can't take it with you, right? You came all this way. Watch the test. It's a hell of a freaking light show. You're gonna love this.
It became clear that this animated Kingpin was dangerous after he terminated a version of Spider-Man in the movie's first half hour. But it turned out his goals made him into a multiversal threat. After losing his wife and son in a car accident, Kingpin tried to open doorways to other dimensions to find new variants of his family.
All we have to do is kill a couple of spiders, and the Collider will bring your family back. As many families as you want.
His attempts to reach alternate worlds threatened to destroy multiple universes. Although this hulking villain could have come off as irredeemable, the movie makes him sympathetic by constantly reminding us of what he's lost. Despite Kingpin being larger than life in more ways than one, he still feels like a realistic rogue in the film.
But that's me, you know me.
We're leaving now.
Don't go. Stay with me, please.
Number 4. Curtis Connors, aka The Lizard, The Amazing Spider-Man.
Have you seen it?
No, it's not yet classified.
But it can be aggressive. If threatened.
The brilliant Dr. Kurt Connors always believed he'd find a way to regrow the part of his body he lost. Once Garfield's Peter introduces an algorithm his father came up with, the doctor uses it to create a formula that restores his limb. But this scientific breakthrough also turns Kurt into a human-lizard hybrid. The doctor's struggle to balance his intellect with his animal instincts is fascinating to watch. As Kurt slips further into his lizard identity, actor Chris Evans does a great job of portraying his increasingly unhinged mental state.
Peter Parker. Spider-Man. I'm not the one who needs help.
And the knowledge that Peter helped create this lizard adds another interesting layer to the duo's dynamic. This villain's search to feel whole turned him into a memorable monster that needed to be stopped.
Poor Peter Parker. No mother. No father.
Number 3. Norman Osborn, aka Green Goblin, Spider-Man.
We're exceptional. I could squash you like a bug right now, but I'm offering you a choice.
An experimental chemical turned Willem Dafoe's Norman Osborn into a legendary comic book antagonist. While the businessman gains enhanced strength and reflexes that make him capable of fighting Spider-Man, his abilities come at the cost of his sanity. Dafoe fully commits to all the character's highs and lows. And since he delivers all his dialogue in unique and energetic ways, most of his lines are extremely quotable.
The cunning warrior attacks neither body nor mind.
Tell me how!
The heart, Osborn. First, we attack his heart.
While Dafoe's performance can feel a little ridiculous at times, he knows how to turn back on the menace for the movie's darkest scenes. We truly worried about the Webhead whenever the Green Goblin attacked. Dafoe's ability to leave us scared and laughing in the same movie shows how excellent he was for this villainous role.
The itsy bitsy spider went up the water spout. Down came the goblin and took the spider out.
Number 2. Adrian Toomes, aka Vulture, Spider-Man Homecoming.
I'm gonna give you one chance. Are you ready? Go on. walk through those doors, you forget any of this happened.
Although Adrian spent lots of money preparing to clean up New York after a big battle, he was told to stop working. After losing the job, he uses alien technology to build himself an advanced suit and create weapons he could sell under the table. Adrian had a successful criminal career that allowed him to support his family, until Spider-Man interfered. His relatable motivations made it easy to understand why he wanted the webhead gone.
Those people, Pete, those people up there, the rich and the powerful, they do whatever they want. Guys like us, like you and me, they don't care about us.
And thanks to superb costume design and Michael Keaton's intimidating acting, we were terrified every time the Vulture took to the skies. Since Adrian is one of the few Spider-Man big bads to survive a movie, we are definitely looking forward to seeing this understandable and frightening supervillain again.
Bingo.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are some honorable mentions. Max Dillon, aka Electro, The Amazing Spider-Man 2. A former Spider-Man fan who went through a shocking transformation.
Now I'm gonna take back what is rightfully mine. I will control everything, and I will be like a god to them.
Maximus Gargan, aka Scorpion, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. A unique design made this famous Spider-Man rogue stand out.
What are you, some kind of silly cartoon?
Eddie Brock, aka Venom, Spider-Man 3. Bitterness and a symbiote turned this ordinary reporter into a vengeful villain.
We can find a way to settle this.
You're so right. I'm thinking humiliation. Kind of like how you humiliated me.
Herman Schultz, aka Shocker, Spider-Man Homecoming. Multiple people have worn this dangerous supervillain's gauntlet.
I wasn't sure about this thing at first, but...
Damn!
Dr. Olivia Octavius, aka Dr. Octopus, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. You really don't want this scientist to experiment on you.
Can I assume that your friends call you Doc Ock?
My friends actually call me Liv. My enemies call me Doc Ock.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Dr. Otto Octavius, aka Doc Ock, Spider-Man 2.
The real crime would be not to finish what we started. We'll do it here. The power of the sun in the palm of my hand.
During Peter's first conversation with Otto, the doctor makes it clear he wants to help humanity. But after the scientist loses his wife and begins being corrupted by his mechanical arms, he starts walking down a darker path. Alfred Molina's tremendous performance made us feel for Doc Ock every step of the way. Whether he was robbing banks or kicking off epic action scenes, we never forgot about the good man he once was. In the end, Doc Ock finds his light and sacrifices himself to save lives.
I will not die a monster.
Although his tragic ending was satisfying, fans were thrilled to hear he'd appear in the MCU.
Hello, Peter.
Seeing people embrace Doc Ock nearly 2 decades after his debut cemented how much of an impression this iconic villain made.
Listen to me now. Listen to me now.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.